just spilled some tea. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, hi, my name is Libby. It's so nice to have you. It's been a hot minute since we've had just a little sit down video, a whole heart to heart. I thought what better way to do that than with a little tea sip and spill moment, you know? My tea for today is actually just the Berry Pop Alani Nutrition energy drink, and I love these. Thank you so much to Glasses USA for working with me. As you guys know, I am a blind girl myself. I've been wearing glasses since I was in the 3rd grade, and I also wear contact lenses. But Glasses USA is amazing, and they were kind enough to send me 3 different pairs of glasses. And if you guys see any that you like in this video, I will have them linked right down in the description box below. I have a few different options that I got to choose from, and I'm honestly having a hard time picking my favorites. It might be the pair that I'm wearing right now. By cutting out the middleman, Glasses USA offers over 9,000 prescription glasses and sunglasses, including the in-house brands like Muse and Amelia E, and designer brands like Ray-Ban, Oakley, Gucci, and many, many more. They're all up to 70% off of retail price, and you can shop all of your eyewear needs online. They make it super accessible and super simple to get your glasses straight to you. They have such affordable prices, starting at $30 for prescription lenses. You don't even have to leave your house. They get shipped straight to you, and you can also do a little glasses try on their website, which I thought was pretty cool. You have yourself on the screen and you just try on different lenses and scroll through the site and see which one fits you best. I'm a really big fan of their virtual try-on tour. It helped me to decide which glasses would fit my face because I have a very narrow face and a very small head, so sometimes there are glasses that look like they kind of just drown me out, so it was nice to be able to see how things would look on my face specifically. Glasses USA also offers free shipping and returns, so there's no hassle. If you guys don't like them, that's okay, and you also get them shipped to you for free. I actually have some of their blue light glasses on, which I know you guys will see throughout this video, but you can add your own prescription to these glasses, and then you can also add in the blue light feature, which works so well because I swear when I'm editing my videos, I always have to have my glasses on because I get a little bit of some tension headache. You get 25% off of all contact lens brands if you use Acuvue Oasis like myself, Biofinity, Dailies, all 25% off. And they're also available for any prescription. These first glasses that I got are called the Revel Sidestep, and I like these because they have a clear little coat on them, but it has a little bit of a matte finish on it, which I thought was super cute. These look a lot like my previous glasses. These next ones, which might be my favorite, are the Muse Hilary Duff Clara glasses, and it's in the clear beige color. I am in love with these. I didn't think that I could love like brown glasses on me, but I thought that they were interesting because there's a little bit of shimmer on the side here, and also like who doesn't love a little Hilary Duff collab? These are the Amelia E Trisha frames. They're a little bit different than what I usually would get. A round scoop at the bottom, which is cute, and then it has that square top. These are larger than any other glasses that I think I've ever had, but I wanted to try something different out. Do I look like Edna from The Incredibles? If so, I'll take that as a compliment. Do you want to check out any of these frames, or you want to pick up some contacts, you guys can click the first link in my description box below. You guys can save 65% on your first pair at checkout. Let's get back into this video and spill a little bit of tea. Y'all went crazy. Oh, I just spilled some tea. Okay, what's the last thing I cried about? Ooh, I go through these weird emotional periods where I'll either be extremely like overwhelmed and happy cry, or I'll be so frustrated that I cry. Is anybody else like that? I oftentimes will cry or tear up at like a sweet TikTok video, I'm not gonna lie. But a deep cry, probably at a really low point a few months ago. I was not feeling so hot. I was in a little bit of a deep moment right there. Do I ever get imposter syndrome? Yes. Sometimes I am just in disbelief of the life that I'm able to live and how quickly my life has changed over time. I sometimes just don't feel qualified, or I don't feel that I deserve the blessings that I've gotten in my life in terms of the people, the circumstances, sometimes material things I just don't feel that I have earned or I deserve, but I know that everything is supposed to be the way that it is. Eternally grateful for that. But I would say yes, I definitely get a little bit of imposter syndrome sometimes. Have I ever had a pregnancy scare? I had my twin sister's pregnancy symptoms. I have an IUD, so I was missing my period for like 14 days, and I was like, excuse me, what's going on? I remember I was working with one of my friends a couple of years ago. I was like, dude, I haven't got my period. My sister and I growing up, we had a little bit of twin telepathy, which was kind of cool, but as we got older, it didn't really happen as much. We lived separate, all that good stuff. I remember being at work, and I told my friend Hannah, I was like, can you give me a pregnancy test? Like, there's no way it's gonna be positive, but just for some peace of mind, maybe could you get one for me? She goes right down the street, comes back, we go hide in the bathroom together. I pee on a little stick, I take a test. I get a text on my Apple Watch, and it's from my sister, and she's asking for the insurance card, and I'm like, I'm working, I don't have the insurance card, just ask dad, you know? Immediately afterwards, it's like, no, you're not pregnant. And I was like, okay, well, that's a nice peace of mind. I'm rolling up protein balls at work and my watch goes off and I look at it and it's just a text that says, I'm pregnant. And I was like, what? So that's how I found out that my sister was pregnant. As soon as she said that, the next day, I got my period. I don't really think it was a pregnancy scare. It was just kind of like, why hasn't my period come? And I've also struggled with like my period being so irregular in the past, but that's the only circumstance that I can really think of. How do you, or what app do you use to edit your videos with? So I started my YouTube channel. If you go back to my very first video, I filmed that on my iPhone and I edited it on my iPhone as well. So I used InShot for that. And now I currently use Final Cut Pro to edit my YouTube videos. What is JJ's real name? You guys know he's a junior. There are so many people in line before him that have the same name that was passed down, but JJ's name is John. He's John. I sometimes yell and I'm like, John Ellis! But JJ is just a John, junior. He's John. How did I become a Gymshark athlete? The day old question. I know everybody wants to know this. Gymshark has known who I was since I had about 10,000 followers, and keep in mind that I've had my social media and my Instagram page for 5 years now. My growth didn't all come at once. It was a lot of like slow growth, a little bit of steady growth, and I feel like it's definitely like boomed recently in terms of like my following count and things like that. I've always been a fan of the brand. I've always been a customer of Gymshark. I remember finding them when I was in high school and I became obsessed immediately. So that's why I have so much Gymshark, is because part of it is because I'm an athlete now, and then part of it is because I purchased a lot before I ever was. Gymshark had reached out to me when I had a much smaller following, and they had actually asked me to be in the Ultra Seamless campaign. I don't know if you guys remember that range. I believe that was like summer of 2018. This was before I was actually like affiliated with the brand in any way. At that time, they reached out and asked if I wanted to be in the campaign, and I said, yes, please. Here's a little throwback snapshot of little Libby at the top of this little pyramid, which was so cool. They flew me out to LA, and that is my first video on YouTube. I vlogged that experience, and that's when I really started YouTube. After that, it was just like, hey, we'd love to send you a package, and it would be like 2 or 3 outfits, and I would be so excited. I loved having some type of relationship with them. In 2019, I went to Whitney's pop-up store. I was actually going to visit a Jazzy. Jazzy was like, oh, you should wait until like September, and I was like, I was gonna come in August, but I guess I can wait. I didn't know what it was for. We got to go to Whitney's event together, and from that moment, Gymshark treated me like an athlete. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because we had a relationship prior, but they made me feel so included and so welcomed into the Gymshark family. And that was like my first time going to any Gymshark event, and it was incredible. After that event, then I went to work, and I was still working at a meal prep company at this time. And I was like, okay, you guys, I have to take off because I'm going to the Houston pop-up. I'm letting you guys know ahead of time. This was risky for me because I was obviously like a college student. JJ and I were living paycheck to paycheck. He was playing football. It was just us trying to make ends meet. Something in my heart that told me like, you have to try this. You have to go for it. Like, you might as well risk it. You can get another job. It's gonna be okay. You might as well try. I told my work, I was like, I'm not gonna be here this weekend. At that time, that company was not doing too well, and they couldn't afford to hire more people. So I was working 40 hours a week. I let them know a month ahead of time. As soon as I got back from the Whitney event, as it got closer, I was like, hey, just reminding you guys, I'm not gonna be here these days. And they said, oh, Libby, like, I'm sorry, we can't let you take off. Honey, what? I told you this a month ago. What are you talking about? I said, I'm sorry, but I already let you guys know I won't be here. I put it on the calendar. I wrote it down for you guys so you could see it. They said, Libby, if you don't show up, we're gonna have to let you go. And I said, oh, consider this my 2 weeks. I don't know why I had the balls in that moment to say that, but there was something in my heart that told me, like, if you just go to this event, everything could change. And sure enough, the month after that, I came back home to having no job after the greatest experience ever in Houston. It was so amazing. Later on in November, Gymshark reached out and they asked if I wanted to be an athlete. And I said, are you kidding me? Are you joking my ass right now? And that is when I became a Gymshark athlete, November of 2019. It's just wild to see how many things have changed in these last 2 years. I'm eternally grateful for Gymshark because they've changed my life. You guys have changed my life being part of the Gymshark community and being part of the Gymshark family. I can't thank you guys enough for believing in me, and supporting me and just being there. I have chills. I have chills. Unpopular opinion, fitness edition. I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion, but it's kind of just like I don't go with the status quo in terms of the fact that I run a pretty successful fitness account, I guess. It's more like lifestyle and fitness, but I don't track macros. And I feel like everybody in the fitness community tracks their macros and they count their calories, which works for so many people. But for me, it just doesn't work. My life has been okay without tracking them. I don't really plan on ever starting. I eat intuitively, and I feel like I have a really good relationship with my body, and I'm really proud of how far I've come, but I don't track macros. Do I recommend creatine? And please tell us about all of your supplements. At the beginning of the year, I started taking creatine. I was like, all right, let's give it a go. It's the most highly researched supplement out there. There's honestly like only benefits to taking it. Your wellness, your brain health, all kinds of things, and your performance in the gym. I said, let's just go for it. And honestly, you guys, if you haven't watched my vlogs, girl, I have turned into the Hulk. I think it's a great supplement. I haven't had any side effects from it. I know that some people have. I just take a creatine monohydrate. If Alani offered it, I would 100% use theirs, but they don't currently have creatine, so I use NutriBio. I get it from GNC. Other than that, in terms of supplements, I use pre-workout when I go work out, of course. I also use Alani Super Greens. I am a greens girl. I don't know why I love their greens. I know some people are like, greens taste like dirt. And that's okay. Like, it's not supposed to taste like heaven in a glass, you know? I do find that Alani's greens are kind of sweet and I enjoy them, so maybe try out some greens. There's so many companies that have greens, of course. How does JJ feel about your growing following? JJ and I have been together for 5 years, since I even started this page when I was a freshman in college. JJ has always been nothing but supportive. I feel so blessed to call him not only my best friend, but my boyfriend, and I think that God put him in my life for a reason. Ew, I'm getting emotional. I just love him so much. JJ is behind the scenes of a lot of my Instagram photos that you guys see. He didn't really understand it at first, but he was always down to help me out with whatever I was pursuing. And I think that is just something that I'm really lucky to have in my significant other, somebody that supports me regardless of what I want to do. And I am the same way with him. I want him to chase his dreams and do what makes him happy. We were actually just looking at Gymshark's page today, and it was a little reel with a little motivational moment on there for their Vital Seamless launch. I was just showing JJ and he says, that's on Gymshark? And I said, yeah, it's on Gymshark. And he says, oh, babe, that is so fire. That is so fire. It's hard. You guys know how JJ talks. It's that Southern slang. It's like, hey, I'm so proud. And that made my heart so happy because I know he's proud of me. And even when my parents say they're proud of me, I know that they are. But to be in that moment and to hear like, I'm proud of you, it just means so much. So he's always been so supportive and he's always wanted me to just grow and reach as many people as I can. But yeah, JJ's the best. What time do you go to bed and wake up for the gym to be going so early? I know, you guys, waking up at 4 a.m., it's crazy. It's not for the faint of heart. But my body has never required a lot of sleep. Actually, just went to the doctor, and by the way, here's a little tidbit of tea. I just got diagnosed with ADHD, which I think that we all knew I had. I just hadn't been diagnosed. And I also got diagnosed, finally, with seasonal affective disorder, which explains my severe depression in the colder months and then in the fall and winter time. That made me really happy to have a little bit of like peace of mind and kind of confirmation and validation of what I already thought that I had. It allowed me to say, okay, I know that I have this and I know how I can cope with it and how I can make it work for me. I wake up at 4 a.m. and when I do that, I go to bed at 10 p.m. I know it's not your ideal 8 hours of sleep. Don't kill me. I know. But that's just what works for my body. I physically like cannot stay asleep longer than like a good 5 or 6 hours. Birth control. Yes, I am on birth control and I have been for a hot minute. I go back and forth debating between getting off of it and staying on it. At the moment, I'm really content in the way that my birth control is working for my body. I've been on the pill. As soon as I was done with the pill for a year, I got Nexplanon in my arm and hated every moment of it. It did not work for my body. I even kept that in for the 3 years. And immediately after that, I got an IUD put in. I have the Kyleena IUD now and I absolutely love it. I've had no issues with it. With Nexplanon, oh my goodness. Talk about a 90-day period, constant flow. Like it was traumatizing. I absolutely hated it. Insane mood swings. It wasn't it for me, but hey, it works for some people. So I say find what works for you. What's something that has surprised you about being an influencer? That's a good question. One thing that has surprised me is how lucrative this industry is. It's wild to think that social media is so new, but at the same time, it is such a lucrative career. And if I wasn't on the influencer side of it, I would probably want to be on the marketing side of it. The fact that so much can change for one person, either overnight or over the span of a couple of years. Do you and JJ want kiddos? Oh my goodness, if you guys watch my lives, this man literally would love to have a baby tomorrow. He is one of 10 kids himself. He is third youngest in his family. He has a bunch of nieces and nephews, and I think JJ would be the most amazing father. He's grown up in just like a very caring role, and he has 5 sisters and 4 brothers, always taking care of the people around him, and I think that he would love nothing more than to be a dad. I've always been a kid lover. I love children. I used to work at a daycare. I used to nanny. I used to babysit. I used to be a camp counselor. I think that the day that we're blessed with that, oh my gosh, it would be absolutely amazing. Ooh, how do you know it's worth it to go through broke times in a relationship? I feel like society makes it feel like we should already have our shit together. Society puts such a heavy pressure on young people and people in general to have it all together. And I think if you have been in a situation where you don't have the means to even get, food or pay your rent or pay your car note, or even have a car, and if you do that with somebody, I think that's what shows that you're not in a relationship to benefit off of somebody monetarily. If you have built something from the ground up, it's just like the most heartwarming thing when you finally get out of that space. I think that society makes it seem like we really have to have all of our stuff together. We have to have $1 million by age 25. We have to be married by 26. We have to have kids by 27. And sometimes it's hard to put yourself in the position where you have an online following. I feel like there's a pressure, especially online, to have all of these things done at a certain time in your life. I think that being able to build a life with somebody that has seen you through everything, lowest of lows and the highest of highs, it makes me so much more content and confident in my relationship, knowing that we've been able to get through some tough things together. It's worth it when you are willing to struggle with somebody and they're willing to lay next to you, whether you have a mattress, whether you have a cardboard box. Remember when JJ and I were younger and we were going through like some difficult times, we would say that all we need is each other, and we could sleep in a cardboard box together and we would be happy. I think that's what shows you it's worth it. Your relationship with food seems amazing. Was it always like that? I grew up in a household that never restricted food or really deemed food as bad. My mom did a lot of cooking before she got sick, and she still likes to cook. I love my mom's cooking, of course. Food was never like a hot topic in our house to say that's bad for you, that's good for you. We weren't super health freaks, but we also weren't indulging in things that were super, that weren't good for you. I feel like that's kind of what sculpted my relationship with food. I've always loved food. I don't think I've had a bad relationship with food until I kind of started trying to track calories and macros, thinking that it was something that's going to benefit me. And I had played into the numbers way too much, and I think that it hindered me more than anything. That was very short-lived, so I don't even consider myself as someone who tried that out. That was just like one experience that my young, impressionable mind thought I needed to do. I feel like I've always had a pretty good relationship with food. I want Libby X Gymshark, and I want it now. Who do I need to call, email, telegraph? You guys, I would love for Gymshark to ask me to do a collab or a range or a collection or a piece with them. I don't know who you gotta contact. I really don't know, but the day that happens, I'll be so proud. You could sit at a table with anyone, dead or alive, who'd it be? 100% Pamela, JJ's mom. I would love to sit down with Pamela and just talk to her. We miss her so much, and I think about her daily, and she's brought up all the time, and I know she's always with us, but if I could just sit down and just update her on our life. Ew. If I could just sit down and have her at a table and just update her on our life and tell her what we're doing now. Ew. That would be the greatest thing ever, because so much has changed since we saw her last. I just know that she would be so proud of both me and JJ, of course. That's my bestie. Aww. I only knew her for 2 years, but she made such an imprint on my life. She made such an imprint on my life, and I just hope that people are able to have that type of relationship and that good of a relationship with their significant others, parents, or family that I had with Pamela, because She was amazing. She meant so much to JJ, and she meant so much to all of her kids, and she meant so much to me. I just know she would be so proud. When we moved into this house, when JJ was playing football, his mom used to like watch HGTV when he was growing up, and she knew that JJ would be the one of hers that would make it out of the projects in Florida. She used to tell him like, JJ, you're gonna get me an HGTV house, right? And he was always like, yes, mom, I'm gonna do that for you. I just remember when we came to look at this house, it was a dark time, but it wasn't the darkest of times. It was so exciting that we were even having the opportunity to move. It all happened so fast. When we came here, I came with Tyra a few times and we were absolutely in love with it. I finally brought JJ to come look at the house after the lease was signed by us. He walked in the door and he immediately broke down in tears because he knew that this would be the house that his mom would have loved. I just wish that she could come visit this house. I know that she's here, but I just wish she could see where we live now, because JJ would have never imagined living here, being where he's from. We're just so thankful to be here. I don't know. Thank goodness my camera died because I needed to collect myself there, but I just know that Pamela would be so proud and so shocked to see where we live and how far we've come in just such a short amount of time. And if I could just update her, it would mean the world to me. How long have JJ and I lived together? We have lived together since we've been together. We met in junior college, so when we first started talking to each other, we would spend the night in each other's dorms, and we slept on an extra long twin. And if you guys have lived in dorms, you already know how tiny that is. Imagine JJ and me together on there. We made it happen, and I have always been the big spoon. It's true. Now we have a king-size bed and there's more than enough room in that bed for both of us, but I'm still the big spoon and we've upgraded beds, so that's a flex, I guess, for us. Where was I born? I was born in Lawrence, Kansas. I was raised in Wichita, so I've been a Kansas girl my entire life. Are you a lefty and your twin righty? My twin and I are that way. Yes! I am actually left-handed, and then my sister, she's right-handed. I'm the only lefty in my family. I don't know how that happened. Do you still live at home or have a place of your own? JJ and I live together. We don't live at home. My dad lives kind of close to me, but then my mom lives in Denver, and then JJ's entire family is back in Florida. How long did it take you to graduate from school online? So I was a fifth-year senior. I think a little bit of that had to do with me transferring from a junior college to a D1 university. Some credits didn't transfer properly, that type of thing. I only went in person my first year of college, and after that I was completely online. 5 years. But you guys, I think that is going to wrap up all of my questions. I had a really good time filming this, and I feel like I haven't really got into a lot of different topics lately, so I feel like I need to do some more like Q&As, life updates, that kind of thing for you guys. Like I said, if you guys do want to pick up any of these glasses, you see any that you guys like, please make sure that you check out Glasses USA. I do want to say thank you guys so much for even sponsoring this video. I will have Glasses USA as the first link in the description box below if you guys would like to try it out. Be sure to take a little bit of time to browse the site, see what they have, their online styling where you guys can try on glasses just by looking at your computer. If you guys do end up getting any glasses from Glasses USA, please let me know. I would love to see what frames you guys pick out. If you guys are interested in getting any glasses or any contact lenses for yourself, you guys can save 65% on your first pair at checkout. I will have all of the glasses linked down below as well if you want to check them out for yourself. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video and hanging out with me for a little bit. I've enjoyed spending some time with you guys. If you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up so I know that you did, and also be sure to subscribe so you don't miss another video with me. Be sure to keep up with me every single day on Instagram at Libby Christensen, and I will talk to you guys later.